What's up, Warport family? This is the South Alabama pregame. Thanks for turning us on and turning us up. I am joined here by none other, and of course, this is C Dub, but I'm joined here by my guy, Ike Jones, who is at the game, as well as our good friend of the show, Dylan Lark. Gentlemen, happy game day. Ike, I'm going to start with you, man, because you
Yeah.
are there covering the game. How's Auburn? How's the atmosphere? How's the environment? I know it's an early morning game, so what's the environment like?
I'm not gonna lie. It's the environment's a little bit like me, sleepy. Like
Mm.
people are slowly coming to life and getting here inside the stadium, but there's still a lot of empty seats in there. But as we kind of walking around before the game, Tiger Walk didn't seem like it was as full. So I think people are just getting into town, just really getting acclimated to what's going on. But hopefully the game will provide a little juice for them.
All right, is it all white there like Dylan's jersey there, or did the Auburn fans participate?
Yeah, I mean, so far it looks like a pretty good participation in the all white. Of course, it's homecoming, so they have the alumni band out here that's taking up a full section, so that gives a little. It's filling out in that area, but yeah, the all white's going pretty well so far.
Dylan, initial thoughts about the game. I know you've done some content this week, but just give us your thoughts about what you expect to see in this game. Any concerns, if any? Just talk to us. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think the general consensus with this game is a look ahead spot. Oklahoma is next week, so if Auburn's caught looking ahead to what is a big storyline game, not only just because Jackson Arnold back in Norman, but two coaches who went into this year with hot seat aspirations. This game, South Alabama can catch you slacking. They caught Tulane last week and almost took over that game. I think that this is a game centered around what Auburn does very well, which is stopping the run and running the football. And I think if they do both of those, they'll take over this game as well.
Let's start real quick before we get into. I know some of you guys are coming in, and by the way, as you're coming in, hit that like button, guys. That we will appreciate that so very much if you were to do that. Let's talk about some things that we want to see, or maybe a concern of ours in this game. I'll go first, gentlemen. One of the things that I want to see in this game is I want to see pass blocking, pass protection, pass pro. I want to see how that looks. It looked a little iffy at times against Ball State as Auburn threw the ball a lot more in game two as opposed to what they did against Baylor on the road. I want to see if they tighten some of that up. Hugh Freeze talked a lot about pass protection earlier this week. And I want to see if they worked on that. I want to see if Jackson Arnold, with his white uni on, how clean that stays with him in the pocket today. And so I want to see how that looks going in the next week. I don't want to see as many sacks as we saw last week against Ball State. That will give me a lot of concern going into the week next week on the road against Oklahoma. So I'm gonna start with that. Pass pro, how does that look? Is Jackson Arnold able to go through his progressions and his reads as he needs to check down and hit the open guy? What's yours, man?
Yeah, I just want to see them continue to be physical on defense. This is a game in which South Alabama is they're going to run. They're going to attempt to run. Dylan already said it. It's built for a team in Auburn who has stopped the run really well and made teams have to turn into passing teams, and Ball State could not do that. Baylor did a good job of being able to pass against Auburn. But I think the bigger issue was the lack of physicality that they had, is particularly in the secondary with wrapping up and tackling. Like, I want to see them be on all three levels, continue to be physical in this game on defense, and I think the rest will sort itself out.
I agree, Ike, and I think one of the things that I've been impressed with our secondary is how they're able to fly downhill against the run, but tackling an open field is the thing that I'm still waiting to see.
Yep.
And does that present opportunities for them to work on that in this game? So I'm with you 100%. Dylan, what about you? What are some things that you expect to see in this game?
Well, I think when I look at what South Alabama does well, and that's running the football, Kentrell Bullock is. I think it's safe to say he's the best running back that Auburn has faced this season so far. He's just a all-round, do-it-all kind of back, and he's already got 234 yards on the year as it stands. I want to see the secondary step up. Bishop Davenport. There we go. English is my first language, I swear. He can do it all. He doesn't, his stat line doesn't show that he's a runner, but he can make it happen. He scored a touchdown last week versus Tulane, which was just a wide open quarterback draw, and just got to see how Auburn adjusts to having another dual threat quarterback to worry about, and a guy who can sling the rock down the field, really test the secondary and the safety group. I would like to see Auburn force a couple of turnovers today out of the secondary and get some interceptions. So I hopefully get to see a little bit of that, but I think I can already expect to see this front seven absolutely shut down the run game today.
One of the things that I also want to see, because you guys have talked, you went to the defensive side of the ball and talked defense, particularly run defense. I'm curious to see what we see from our rush offense at Auburn today. Obviously, Jeremiah Cobb will be dressed out. I believe Damari Alston will sit out this game. As they prepare.
Damari was going through warmups, just FYI. He was going through warmups. So he may dress out in this game. I think that they may just kind of hold him back to look and see, but he was out there going through warmups.
I think if Oklahoma was today, he would probably play, but I think they're going to hold him out just for another week, just so he can get healed up. What I'm curious to see is how much quality is Auburn's depth at the running back position. I think Auburn took a huge hit this week with the news of Darrell Robinson being out indefinitely because of the injury he sustained. So it's Omar Mapson up. We were hearing noise about this kid in fall camp. Now he gets an opportunity to truly show what he can do. My hope for this room, and the reason why I point out this room as a point of concern, is I don't think Auburn can take another hit at this position with another guy getting injured. And so the big thing here is, through 4 quarters, Auburn able to stay healthy, relatively healthy at the running back position, but also to see some production from RB2, which is now Omar Mapson. But guys, what are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, no, I agree. The big thing for me, I think they're all talented enough to run the rock. It's about a question for me about whether or not they're going to be available to do the pass protection the way that they need to, because, Cobb has not been great in pass pro. We haven't seen enough of the other running backs to know what they are in pass pro. So with Damari being out and him being the best pass protector and blitz pickups and that sort of thing, you do wonder whether or not the running backs will be able to do that, especially when you talked about like how you're going to keep Jackson Arnold upright in this game, because I expect South Alabama to come out and try to challenge Auburn's offensive line to figure out where the blitz is coming from.
Dylan?
Yeah, so with Jeremiah Cobb, I mean, you got a guy who can get out in open space and make some guys miss. Again, missing that level you get with Damari, but you need him versus Oklahoma. You're definitely going to, because that's going to be the best defense you've seen all year. So you need to have that extra level of protection for him. But I mean, looking at the walk-ons, I mean, Justin Jones, I could see him getting a couple of carries in this game, staying warm.
Justin Jones is on scholarship now, by the way.
Yes.
Oh, I forgot. But yeah, former walk-on Justin Jones going to be staying warm. But again, you probably get to see some A-Train today. And, of course, Omar Mapson. I think he ran the ball pretty well last week whenever he was able to get some carries. But, again, got to get the fresh legs out of him.
Yeah, and that'll be something to keep an eye on as well. Obviously, Jackson Arnold and how he performs today. Again, he's done very well up to this point in terms of what the coaches have asked him to do, making the right decisions. I'm curious to see what the deep ball looks like. Expectations, guys, from the passing attack in this game. What are we expecting to see?
Go ahead, Des.
Probably nothing much different than what we've been saying, just kind of letting Jackson Arnold kind of just get comfortable. Of course, he's probably going to see a lot more explosive level play calls next week. But I think you're going to try to see a little bit more dink and dunking, letting him get the ball to Cam Coleman, let him get it to Eric Singleton, Malcolm, Perry, Horatio, just letting them guys kind of fluctuate the passing game. And I think you'll probably see a slower start than you will and a quicker finish at the end of this game. I think as the game prolongs, you're going to see a more developed passing attack and might see a couple of home run throws towards the third quarter, more than likely.
Indeed. Go ahead, Ike. I don't think you had a chance to say.
No, I agree with everything that that Dylan just said. I think that what we're going to try to see in this game is them. I think they're going to go back with take what the defense gives them approach and not try to force anything downfield. I want them to stop trying to figure. Well, I don't think that they did, but I want them to continue to not allow the pressure of people talking to say, I haven't seen this, to make them feel like they have to prove that they can do it. The defense isn't giving that to you. Fine, right? We will methodically walk this ball down the field every single drive if we have to force you guys to realize that we're willing to be patient.
Indeed. Indeed, I agree. I agree. Listen, we gave our thoughts. We'll probably come back and give a final score prediction towards the end. But this show is about you guys in the chat. We appreciate you joining us and commenting again. Get the likes up. We greatly appreciate your interaction with our content. I'm going to get to some of the comments here. A Deets with the 1999 super chat. He says, "War Damn Eagle, I'm going 51-10 Auburn today. Time for a frozen bourbon and Coke." Thoughts about that, Ike? Your
Frozen bourbon, thumbs up. I wouldn't have any Coke. Actually, I won't even know if I would do a frozen bourbon. Anyway, the score, if that's what you're asking me about, that's a lot of points. I don't know, man. I don't know that Auburn is going to even attempt to run the score up in that way. And I do respect South Alabama enough to say that they probably won't have to score in the 50s. But hey, I'd be all for it.
You ever seen those types of games? Auburn has had this happen to him where they'll play a team that had a supposed cupcake the week before, and they score like an unimpressive score. And Auburn, we're thinking, oh man, we're gonna have an easy time against them, and then they just have an explosion against us, and they just look amazing. I kind of foresee something similar like that with Auburn in this game, where Auburn wins. They're in control of this game, but I'm not expecting them dropping a 50 ball or 40 ball unless South Carolina just lays down against either the run or pass in this game, and Auburn it just looks easy for them. It depends. So I expect Auburn to truly work through some things. I expect them to look pretty good overall offensively. But I think there's some looking ahead a little bit to Oklahoma, and I'll be surprised if Auburn runs it up against South Alabama. There's a better team than Ball State, and so I'll be impressed if Auburn does that. But Dylan, your thoughts?
Oh, I mean, I can't lie. My predictions, it's not on that same level, but I have 41-17 Auburn. I think
not bad.
The way Hugh Freeze has been talking about this game, I want to believe that this is not the look ahead spot that the media has been saying it is. I would like to see Auburn take care of business today. Got to get ready for Oklahoma. Keep playing your brand of football. Auburn's a lot bigger and more athletic than USA is, but I'll give them some credit. They're a very tough G5 team, and I mean the Sun Belt is nothing to bat your eye over. I mean even the American Conference last week. I mean we saw USF take down Florida in the swamp. South Alabama is no stranger to beating an SEC team. They've beaten a couple in the past, so. I can see Auburn being prepared for this one, and I think we're all going to be talking very highly of Auburn going into the Oklahoma game.
And by the way, Wisconsin's offense appears to be straight cheeks. So if you're hoping for a beat down in Bama, could still happen, but they got to tighten up offensively. Just an FYI in case you were wondering. Let's get to some more of your comments. Cameron Carr says, "I'm not predicting a big scoring game. Probably will start slow and drive my nerves crazy. I hope that's not the case in this game. Auburn has started out slow the first two games, so you hope to see a change in trend there." Let's see here. Madison AU Chief says, I just want to see AU flip the switch in all levels and open up a big ass can of WA on South Alabama. Let's go. I'm here for it. Not mad at that at all. 22 Busy says Damari Austin may be break glass in case of emergency, and I hope they don't have to break that glass because I hope there's not an emergency today. But I do agree. Philip Coleman says Justin Jones can probably see some carries today. Dylan, you made mention of that. A Dietz says, let's see a comfortable, clean game, boys. Would like to see Coleman get a tutty or two. I would like to see Cam Coleman get a touchdown. He's long overdue for a touchdown. He was Auburn's leading receiver or leading pass catcher last week. Ready to see him get in the end zone. Ready for him to have some celebration scores. We got some scores from Lawrence Robinson. He has Auburn in the high 40s, so not too far off from A Dietz, 48-14. Now, Ike, you said anything 10 or above against Ball State is unacceptable. Help me out, sir. What is unacceptable in this game against South Alabama, in your humble opinion, sir?
I think anything more than I don't want to see them break 24 at the most. I predicted this game 38-13. I was giving South Alabama a couple of scores, a touchdown, and a couple of field goals.
So you don't have Auburn. Is the line still 25.5 or 24.5?
Last I checked, it was 25. Yeah.
Okay, 25.
It was 25.5. Yeah.
So you don't have Auburn covering then. 38.
No.
Okay. All right. Let's see. We already got your score, Ike. What about yours, Dylan? What's your score?
Oh, I said 41-17 for Auburn.
41-17. Okay. All right. So 41-17. I am thinking. I'm kind of with Ike. I want to put Auburn. I'm gonna say 41. I'm gonna do 41. 41-13. I'm gonna go 41-13. Auburn kicks it an extra field goal, Ike, and they cover. I'm gonna go with Auburn covering in this game. So
I like it.
Let's see here. Philip Coleman says, as long as we come out with a good win and no injuries, I'm good. 42-14, really close to my prediction. Not mad at that. I already had Lawrence Robinson's. TK has Auburn. He agrees. He has Auburn in the high 40s, 48-17. Oda, welcome, good sir. Good to see you. Good to have you back. Hope all is well. Tim Tulane Taylor says he has the game 33-17 Auburn. Good guys. Damian Prentice has 45-21 Auburn. DL Lee 92s has Auburn 35-10. All right. I think that's one of the lower scores I've seen. I think someone else had 33. Let's see here. Oda Smith with the super chat says, first play, just send Cam to the house on a deep ball. That's interesting. Now, what do we think Auburn comes out doing? Do you expect Auburn to break the streak of punting on their first possession? Do you think Auburn gets a successful first drive going? Is that something you think the coaching staff is trying to work on, especially going on the road next week?
Man, as long as they win, I really don't care, but I would love to see it be at least not be a 3-and-out. At least move the ball a little bit.
Yeah. Dylan, your thoughts, man?
Yeah, I mean, I think what we saw from the past few games where Auburn just tried to pass the ball and force those passes down the field, and that led to those 3-and-outs. I mean, if Auburn just runs the ball for the first 3 plays, I can see Auburn, not being a 3-and-out. So then it's up to that next set of downs to determine how the drive ends for Auburn.
Yeah, indeed. Appreciate the super chat, Oda. A question from Philip Coleman: is Towns kicking today? Well, I know he's been pretty much the kickoff guy, but everyone is shaking their head.
Connor Gibbs.
No, yeah, over. Connor Gibbs has been. He won the kicking competition this week, so it is going to be Gibbs getting the nod initially. He's definitely going to be doing kickoffs, and he's supposed to be the long field goal kicker this week as well.
Yeah, I think he was 3 for 4 on 50-yarders last year, something along those lines. Connor Gibbs has an absolute cannon of a leg on him.
Susan Scales wants a nail biter, a nervous game, 28-21. Susan wants us biting all of our nails off.
I don't want
that. Mike Davis with the chat, he says 45-7. The refs 6. So the refs gives Auburn gives South Alabama a score there. So I see what you did there, Mike Davis. They definitely had 6 points last week. The refs definitely had 6 points last week. Well, hopefully they don't return the comeback for double duty this week. Adante Harper says Cam scores 3 touchdowns and makes OU definitely game plan. Interesting. I'll be happy for Cam if he got 3 scores in this game. Let's see here. Jazzy Joe, good to see you, brother. Appreciate the $20 super chat. He says 100 for each Cam Coleman touchdown. So Adante, I'm with you, sir. 3 touchdowns for Cam Coleman, $300 for the War Poor. Thank you.
What's the record? What's the record for Auburn receivers touchdowns in a game?
I don't know what the record is. Yeah, I'm not sure what the record is. I'm pretty sure someone in the chat would know. So let us know, guys, in the chat if you know what the record is for the number of touchdowns for a receiver in a game. All right. I think we've gone through. Oh yeah, Dustin Pay says show the least possible. Keep Oklahoma guessing. How do you like where we are, guys, in terms of teams game planning for Auburn and trying to figure out what Auburn's identity is? Has Auburn really hasn't shown much of an identity because they've had two distinct either game plans or the game just went a certain way to where Auburn didn't have to really reveal much of its attack or identity. But your thoughts on that, guys?
Yeah, not much of an identity being shown yet. I mean, I guess what you can look and see is maybe whether or not, adversity, right? Baylor, there was a little bit of adversity in that game. What do they go to in those moments? If they're in, a must-have third and long in a fourth and short situation, what are they looking to run, that sort of thing? But you haven't seen enough of that to say this is who Auburn is. They're going to go to this. This is their bread and butter. Unfortunately for Baylor, their defense wasn't able to really slow Auburn's run game down, so they didn't have to go further into the bag. Same thing for Ball State. Auburn just kind of did what they wanted in that game, and so I don't think that we've been to the place where there's going to be that sort of thing for people to study yet. Fortunately for Auburn, though, that's great.
Indeed.
Yeah, I think for the most part, Auburn's just kind of doing whatever the teams they're playing gives them. So, I mean, I can see Auburn just kind of keeping that trend going. I think the adaptation of this offense has been very good. I mean, we kind of saw the evolution of, we wanted to pass the ball versus Baylor, but the Baylor was kind of, running those two high safeties and Auburn couldn't get the ball down the field. So what did we do? We adjusted and started running the football. And, I mean, that's a big step up from what last year was. I will say I also looked it up. The record for receiving touchdowns in a game by an Auburn Tiger is 4.
4. Okay.
Harry Beasley was the first one to get that in 1970 in the Gator Bowl.
Appreciate that. Let's see here. Auburn fan says, I want to see some interceptions and turnovers for the Auburn D. Auburn only has one turnover that they forced on the season so far. None against Baylor, one last week. Auburn has not lost a turnover battle so far this season. So that is something that you would like to see moving forward, is that Auburn actually wins the turnover battle and force some turnovers. You already made mention of that, Dylan. Fumbles or picks? I think you mentioned. Was it picks for you?
I would love to see some picks. Fumbles, I mean, the front seven has already proven themselves to me throughout these first two games, but I need the secondary to start making some plays.
Yeah. Agreed. Let's see here. Let me get to a few more, and we're going to get out of here in preparation for the game. Otis Smith says, too high safety look. You should eat that defense up with slants and digs. And Ball State didn't exactly show too high, but they were in cover 3, cover 4 at many points in the game. And it basically, they were conceding a lot of the short throws underneath. And so Auburn took full advantage of that and didn't really have to get elaborate with routes and whatnot. Because again, I don't think Auburn wanted to show a whole lot. So hitches were there, passes out in the flats were there. That was pretty much what they dinked and dunked all around with, playing pitch and catch. I'd be curious to see what South Alabama does. Some people are anticipating South Alabama actually coming after Jackson Arnold in this game, which again was another reason why I wanted to highlight pass pro in this game and make sure, see that Auburn is taking that step forward in terms of pass pro. We already know what they can do with the run block. Let's see what they can do when they have some pressure on them with running backs who pass pro is not their strength, right? So curious to see how they look there. All right. Dustin Pace said Quan Bray versus San Diego State, maybe like 4 if he remembers correctly. He says he's a young fan though, so he could be wrong. Dante Harper, I think he says 2, but I think you've corrected it in saying that it's 4, Dylan, by Terry Beasley. Let's see here. How are we looking here? Kyle Sweat says, I still think if we can hold every opponent under 25 points, we can go 12-0. Yeah, I mean, if you do that, And if you continue on the pace that you're on offensively, Auburn has a chance in every game that they're going to be in. Lawrence Robinson says, I think Mapson breaks out today. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Looking forward to seeing that. Final thoughts, gentlemen, on this game before we close out and get ready for it. We're about, I think, like you said, about 8-7 minutes to kick off now.
Yeah, just over 6 minutes left to kick off. You know, again, get out of the game healthy and get the dub is really all I fully care about. I'd love to see it be a blowout, whether it's a blowout or not. Just get the win and let everybody be healthy. That's really what I'm concerned about most in this game.
Dylan, talk to me.
I want to see no turnovers. I mean, Auburn's not had a big issue with turnovers. I mean, there was one last week, but there's been an issue with putting the ball on the ground. The ball has been on the ground in both games. So don't want to see that happen unless the defense is forcing it to happen against South Alabama. Also want to throw out some, hopefulness, get a whiteout game at home. Not the first time that happened, but hopefully that means more uniform combos to come, particularly of the orange variety.
Definitely. Well, I hope it looks amazing once the broadcast comes on and you see a sea of white in the stands today, and hopefully the crowd picks up. They begin to wake up as Ike's starting to wake up for the game. But we will definitely be back here for the halftime reaction show. That's Green Name Gang only, guys. So definitely go get yourself a green name. Sign up to be a War Report member. We will be going live behind the scenes, and we typically leave that live up for the second half as people can stay on and actually comment on what they're seeing with the War Report community. So you definitely want to sign up for that. We will definitely be on for the post game, so we will give our full thoughts as to what we see. And Mike G may pop in and give us an update from the sideline based on what he heard from Hugh Freeze at the press conference. So you definitely don't want to miss that. But guys, we're going to wrap up. We will see you at the half for Green Name and at the end for the post. You have been watching the South Alabama pregame. Enjoy the first half.
War Eagle.